Okay, so we have in our Lucky Workshop on the Go kit, we have the guide, we have the stamp set that comes with the kit, and the stamp set is this big. See if I can get it where you can see it. This is the stamp set that comes with it. We have designer wooden buttons, which I can't wait to use. And we have some hemp. And all of these come with the kit, along with a full pack of paper. And the colors that we are going to be using are, you've got your desert sand, you've got olive, you've got outdoor denim, and you've got sunset. So these are the colors that we're going to use. So here are the accents that you're going to want to stamp out. Very, very easy. It explains how to do it. These are the papers we're using. And it shows you which paper you need. So for this one, we need the outdoor denim cardstock. For this one, we need sunset cardstock. For this one, we need this BMT paper. And for this one right here, we need this BMT paper. And then we also, and it comes in the kit, we will need our two base pieces of Colonial White. Next, let me flip mine over to get little black streaks when they're in my holder. So there's your Colonial White that you'll be needing. If you look over, it shows you, and I don't know if I can zoom in so you can see, but these are your cutting instructions for this color of paper. These are your cutting instructions for your BMT. These are your cutting instructions for your circle BMT paper. And this is your cutting instructions for your sunset. What I like to do is I like to get these cut out first, and then I like to do the accent pieces. And then once I have all that put together, then I do the actual layout, which is over here. And if you notice, there we go. Can you see that? To me, this entire piece right here, and this is exactly how our books are laid out. This, to me, is a cookbook. It lays it out, what my family likes to call Jenny-proof. If I can do it, you can do it. And it just makes sense. So I get all of the pre-work done, and then I just lay it out and tack it down. It just makes life simple. So what we're going to do, because I have not pre-done this, because I want to show you how easy it is. And if you can use whatever cutter you are comfortable with. It does not matter. I have the Cutter-Pede. It is one of my favorites. I've got actually 2 or 3 of these. So the first cuts we're going to make is going to be with the olive cardstock. And as you can see, you're going to cut from this direction to this direction. So if you can see, you cut from here to here, here, and then this little piece next. So I'm going to do these 2 cuts first. So I'm going to do 4.5 across. Get my cutter situated here. So 4.5. And then my next cut is at 5. And what I do, let me see if I have a pencil handy. I may have to do it with ink since this is such a dark piece of paper, is I mark my spots. So this one is K, and this one is E. So that when I have all of my cut pieces done and I'm starting to lay things out, I don't get confused on which piece is which. The next one is going to be 1 inch. So I've got this even. So easy to not have it even. So 1 inch. Oh, did we get it? Nope, we didn't get it. There we go. 1 inch by 5 inches. Okay, this one is going to be B. And this one, which is 7 inches, is going to be H. And then our last cut with the outdoor dental is 3 inches. By 5.5 inches. Is it 5.5? Yes, it's 5.5. And it never hurts to double check your measurements before you cut. And this is going to be our journaling piece, so I'm just going to write journal. There we go. Okay, the next one we're going to cut is the sunset. My first cut's going to be 3.5. And I'm sorry, it keeps going in and out blurry-wise. I've got an autofocus camera, and it's trying to correct itself. So 3.5, and this one's going to be called I. So it's going to be 8.5 is your cut, not 6.5. 8.5 is your first cut. And I will show you why that was a bad cut. 8.5, this should be 3.5. It is 3.5. You're going to need this piece of paper in just a minute to make some more cuts. When I cut the other piece at 6.5, this was too small. So that's why I knew it was a bad cut. This is the 8.5, it's this way. We're going to do 6.5, go in this direction, and that will be the correct cut. Close to My Heart has these all laid out for less paper wastage, so that you get the most amount of bang for your buck. Now me, because I made a bad cut, those spare pieces went into my scrap bucket. That's going to be the first place I go when I make my cards. So to me, that's not a waste, because I will use it. And then we've got this is going to be spare because of that bad cut that I made. That's going to go down in my scrap bucket. This is that extra piece that I have. Out of this, we're going to do a 3.5. So this piece was 3.5 by 3.5. It's going to be C. And then we have 5. By 2.5, but I'm going to leave this title. I'm actually going to do something a little different because I think my stamp set's going to be a little bit bigger than what they have because I'm using a different title stamp set. So I'm going to come back in here and grab this piece again. Okay, so this is out of my scraps bucket. This was that bad cut that I made. I'm going to just mark it title. And you'll see why I didn't use the other piece of paper. That last cut should have been 5 by 2.5, but this stamp set is bigger than the one that they're using. So that piece, whenever I do this, is going to be, would not have fit, these images would not have fit what they were thinking about. I'm going to use a different piece of sunset to stamp out the title. I think I need the extra room, so I'm going to use the scrap piece of paper and do that. So, hope I didn't just confuse you with that. You'll understand in just a minute. So, the next piece that we're going to cut is going to be this beautiful B&T that I have been anxiously trying to get my hands on. I've just hadn't wanted to wait to play with it. And I've had to make myself wait to play with it so I could show you first. We're going to make 2 cuts for this, and they're both going to be 3 by 12. So 3 and 3. Now, this extra B&T paper I put back in my envelope with the kit. My cardstock I put in the scrap bucket. This extra B&T I put back in the envelope that it came into. I will use this B&T till there's absolutely nothing left of it, and I will enjoy every second of it. These two pieces are going to be A and G. So we're going to mark one A, and we're going to mark one G. Our final cut is going to be this beautiful circle paper, and it's going to be a lot of little bitty cuts. And what we're doing is, for a lot of these, we're actually going to be using the back side. So you've got this beautiful blue dark side, but if you look at the bag, let me bring it up. This is what the back looks like, and it's trying to focus, and I keep moving. It's having a hard time. So any writing that we make, we're going to have to make sure and use on this side. We're going to write on this side. Our very first cut is going to be 1 by 12. And I guess I could move this closer so you could actually see the cuts that I'm making. I'm not used to having to look at the camera. So the first one's going to be 1 by 12. This is going to be J. And for this one, what side do we need? Let's refer to the front real fast before we write on it. We'll leave the front. Okay. So we do J. So we're going to do another 1-inch strip and make a bunch of little bitty cuts off of this one. Okay, so here's our 1-inch strip. I'm going to take the big piece and lay aside for just a moment. Okay, so 1 by 3.5. And this is going to be D. Once again, when I go to lay all this out, it will make perfect sense. You will see how it comes together. Okay, we're going to work on accent number 2, which is going to be 3 3/4. So 3 3/4 is right here. And we're going to write the number 2 on it. So I'm going to write A2. I'm going to set it in a separate spot so I don't get it confused. Our last little cut is going to be 1 1/4. So there's my 1 piece, there's my 4th piece. Ooh, that's a little bitty. What does that mean? Oh, that's going to be pretty. Okay. I see what they're doing. This is going to be 2.5 by 5. So 2.5 by 5. This is going to be A3. So A3. And then we need 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. It looks like we need 2 of these. Okay. So 1 3/4. This little piece right here is going to be a scrap. So 1 3/4 and 1 3/4, and we need 2 of them, it looks like. 1, 2. Okay. And these are scrap. It looks like all that's scrap. Okay, so I'll put those aside. I'm going to close my cutters. Put that away. And these are going to be accent 1. So A1. Okay. Okay, so what we've got, let me bring this back around so you can see. These are our accent cuts. So we're going to stamp those out. So this needs stamped, and this needs stamped. So these are all the pieces that we've got for stamps. And then this is our cut pieces. So for my cut pieces, I'm going to take and put those, I'm going to just slide them onto my cardstock and get them out of the way for just a minute. I'm going to bring in my stamp set.